Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the Swiss entry for Eurovision 2020. The song is called Répondez-moi, and it's by the artist Gjon's Tears. The artist's real name is Gjon Muharremaj. He is a Swiss artist, but he's actually of Kosovo and Albanian descent. And he has won Albania's Got Talent. And then he sort of eventually I don't know how he crossed over into Switzerland, but he has been doing a lot of French singing for The Voice in France and in Switzerland. Obviously, as you know, Switzerland is a francophone country. They also speak German. There's also some Italian. And it's so unique this year because with France sending a Franglish entry, meaning an entry that's in French and English, Switzerland is actually sending a more French song, which I think is really awesome. They've usually sent a song in English in the past. Like I think for like the past decade, they've almost always sent a song in English. So this is really, really rare that they're sending a song in French. And I think it's amazing, and I definitely am glad that it is in French. But more so than that, the melody and the ambiance of this song is so soul touching. From the first listen, I was hooked and could not wait to share my thoughts on this track. I'm going to discuss the sonics first, along with the, gorgeous black and white visuals for the music video. Gjon is an extremely photogenic character, I think, for this song. He has just a real emotive face to him, a really emotive expression on his face as he delivers these lyrics really boldly and candidly to the camera. And his voice is so melodic. It flows like a waterfall over these notes that that cascade and rise. And what really kind of keeps this ballad so memorable for me is that the notes are not just like static. There's all of these inflections to them, and then there's the rise and fall, which of course is so, heartbreakingly gorgeous. And for a power ballad like this song, which harkens back to Arcade by Duncan Lawrence last year in terms of the orchestration, there's a similarity there in that it's the slightly sparser orchestration and instrumentation around really, really powerful male vocal with a beautiful falsetto. I think that there is comparisons to be made there, but this song also feels entirely new and fresh. It doesn't feel like it's chasing off of Arcade's coattails and the success of Arcade. And it's one of the few ballads we get this year that I honestly think is 100% winner material and 100% going to hold a candle to the other sort of more oddball, fun, playful entries that we've gotten this year. Because I will be honest with you, I really do think that, especially in recent years, Eurovision has sort of teetered back and forth between being a year about ballads. We had Portugal, then we had Netta with Toy, 180 to Kooky and Quirky. Then we go back to Arcade with the Netherlands with Arcade. And this year, it's looking like the needle is pointing more in the direction of a song like Iceland or Russia or Lithuania with a fun dance song. So the ballads, I think, have a little bit more of an uphill climb this year. But at the very top of that ballad stack, and trust me, this is a ballad-heavy year, we have Gjon's Tears with Repondez-moi. And so I just needed to make that very clear that this song instantly rose to the top for me. This song is just one I really want to belt out of my own lungs. Like, it's just one that I feel without even understanding the lyrics, and I'm about to read through the lyrics now for the first time and kind of dissect them. It's a song that I don't need to listen to the lyrics to feel the kinds of emotion I need to feel, which is something that France's entry does not do well at all. You couldn't have a more kind of like looking at these two ballads between France and Switzerland. I think it's a great sort of lesson in creativity and really trying to actually be emotional without just sounding very synthetic. France's song is, like I said, not the worst thing I've ever heard, but it is very Disney and it is very safe and sort of similar to other songs we've heard before. Whereas this song, it's in the style of things we've heard before, but there's something unique about it in the vocal delivery, and it feels like the personality of Gjon is really actually shining through. It feels like a uniquely personal song to Gjon. It does not feel like a song that was written by some Swedish songwriter that was sent around and shopped around to a million different countries. Of course, there were probably a lot of different songwriters involved, and that's just how Eurovision works, but this just feels much more like a deeply personal outcry. So, with the lyrics, Why the rain and clouds too? Why in the evening dew you fall asleep in my bed? Why do we sleep so far away from the family in another country? Why does death come after life? I give up. Answer me. Répondez-moi. Answer me. No fake words. Answer me. Why do we run without ever stopping? Why do we pray everyone alone? Why am I a stranger here? Why does my son grow up without summer? I give up. Answer me. So Gjon talks about his migrant upbringing and coming from Kosovo and Albania and living in Switzerland and getting this sense of like nomadic belonging. Like, where do I really belong? Why am I here? And these are questions he's constantly pondering. And so that's the epicenter for where all these bigger questions start to kind of congeal around the meaning of this song. Basically, why does it rain? Why does death come after life? These huge, huge questions that obviously are asked rhetorically, but, in a still very pleading and earnest manner. And, this is such a moving tribute to the mysteries of life, the sorrows of life, the feelings of grief, of loss, and it's purely heartbreaking. And just now looking at the lyrics, I'm even more devastated by the melody because of just how much already the melody had my heartstrings completely wrapped and tied around its fingers. But now it's even more so knowing the meaning behind this. Definitely, like I said, this is just such a high quality entry, full of unique personality, memorable melodies. It doesn't necessarily need to do a whole lot to sell itself, and that's just so endearing to it, I think. Now, I think that we really do have the real disparity here between juries and televotes with our situation here. A lot of people are saying Switzerland is one of those top contenders. And like I said, if we're looking at the pool of sort of more like oddball dance songs, and then we're looking at the pool of ballads, a lot of people are saying that like an entry like Lithuania is at the top of the viral video dance pop section, and then Switzerland's Gjon's Tears is at the top of the ballad section. And so those two are going to battle it out. And a lot of it seems as though the jury vote is going to heavily go towards Gjon's Tears. The televote is going to heavily go towards Lithuania or Russia or any of those other countries. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the televote and the jury kind of balance those things out. I would totally be happy with this song winning. That being said, I don't think it will, just like I said, because Arcade won last year, and I feel like the pendulum, it seems to be kind of swinging back and forth. But, there's no real rhyme or reason to that. We did have two powerful ballad-like songs in 2016 and 2017 in a row. So, maybe it won't always be, pop song, sad song, pop song, sad song. So who knows what really this year will bring? And there's so much uncertainty about this contest and, how it's going to be held and all of these things, of course, with the current situation right now. I'll be very interested to see how this is staged. It's not necessarily a piano ballad, so it'll probably be him sort of standing on the stage. And it's the kind of song that I'm torn on whether I think there should be, a lot of projections and imagery around him, or whether it should be kind of more of a spotlighted sort of simple ambiance and lighting situation. I think I think his vocal is going to be center stage no matter what, and I'm not really worried about that. It's, the studio cut, it's a very clean vocal that we get there, and it really shows at his vocal talent. I think he can easily match the studio cut. So I think that, focusing on the voice and focusing on him and sort of just making the styling sort of melancholic in a way that that's tasteful, I think is really going to sell this song. I think having him sort of in this just like really baggy sort of raincoat, and just sort of just standing on stage, and maybe having the background just like this black and then change to white and kind of play with the silhouettes and shadows of his form and figure against it. I think that stark kind of contrast is super important for maybe staging this in the most impactful way, because I don't think this is a song that calls for, flittering lights everywhere and sort of like this fairy tale ambiance, or like this sort of like, Disney kind of feel to it. I think it needs to be much more stark, much more sort of, hard shadows. Yeah, so anyway, those are my thoughts on this heartfelt, beautiful song. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. I'm sure most people are in agreement that this song is one of the most moving they've heard during this contest. And it's the reason why I love covering Eurovision, learning about an artist like Gjon, learning about learning about music that I would never otherwise hear, and just having that with me, and just like having that emotional kind of outcry coming from it is just always something I really look for in a contest that can feel very plastic and very kind of chasing trends and silly and inauthentic. The songs like these are deserve to really shine. So hope you enjoyed this review. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stay healthy and safe out there. Peace, love, and light. Bye.